What up people, how's it going? This is Bharat here. Welcome back to yet another video. I'm pretty stoked to come here and talk about a very important topic that a lot of you guys have been asking. Pretty much on an everyday basis, I work as a developer, so I have a lot of things to do on an everyday basis. And I depend on a lot of different tools for doing that. So this video is going to be about what are the exact 5-6 tools that I actually use on an everyday basis to do and write code and also to build applications and software faster. A lot of you might know that I work in one of the FANG company, and so a lot of tools that we use internally are like an internal tool that is developed only for the employees. So once you come out of the company or once you are not in the VPN of the company, you might not be able to access it. And I also cannot show you guys all these internal tools. So what I'm going to be doing is to show an exact replica of it, that is an open source version of it, and I'll be explaining you guys why is it useful, how useful is it, and that's what I'm going to be showing you guys in this exact video. So if you're new to this channel, I would highly recommend you guys to subscribe first, and let's get the video started. Alright, the first thing that you do as soon as you start working is not write code. As you can see, I'm actually using an IDE to write code, but that's not what you do on an everyday basis. What you do is actually plan out what you're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. So in a big company, as you know, that they follow a method called as Agile Development Method. The ADM stands for that, and what you do as part of that is that you go ahead and sit down and discuss what exactly are you going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. So a 2-week sprint is going to be decided based on what you're going to be doing, and the tasks are going to be allocated for you. The task cannot be like a big chunk of tasks. Say that I'm developing a software. I cannot write a task as I'm developing software A and complete that. No, that's not how it works. You have to be making sure that what task is going to be there is broken down into simpler chunks, and you're going to be developing based on those chunks. You not only just write it down, you write how many hours you're going to spend on that specific task, and that's how your entire sprint is going to be calculated. Now to do this manually, it is going to be taking so much time and so much effort, and that's why I'm sharing with you guys a very important tool that we also follow. It's called as a Jira board, which is where your everyday task or everyday sprint or every sprint that you've taken up so far is going to be logged. So sample task is being given here. I just written something, for example, I'm working on a DHC feature. I don't even know what that means, but something like that. I'm going to be working on DHC feature, but that is a poor example of writing a task. You have to write it very specifically. For example, fixing broken pipeline and recreating a new one for a DUI bot. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about it here, but a specific task. And what you do as part of this task is also to go inside and decide what exactly I'm going to be doing here. You're going to add some comments. You're going to be adding to your work log here what exactly I've been doing, how many hours have you spent on the specific task. That's how useful your Jira board is. This is the first thing that you see as soon as you go into your work. This is the first thing that you want to be seeing, because your every single task is very important. Any feature is going to be hardly completed on the given date. That's the truth about it, because a lot of people is going to be pushing it left and right. They're going to just say, I want another day to complete it, I want a couple of weeks to complete it. So what happens is that when you are tracking how the progress is very closely, you need the minor chunks of data to prove that you're doing this work here, you're doing that work there, and that's how your entire team is going to be working on. This is the first tool or developer tool that I use on an everyday basis. It's called as Jira board. It is a company called as Atlassian. Jira software is being developed by a company called Atlassian. We have something similar to this inside our company as well, and that's going to be very, very, very useful when you're actually developing or writing code, developing bigger software, bigger feature. It's going to be very, very useful. Alright, so obviously the next thing that you usually do when you're actually going to be developing applications or even writing code is to have a repository or have some mechanism to access a repository of code. Most importantly, companies actually go for web-based applications. So even my company does that, and we have a code repository, usually in a Git farm or a GitHub kind of a repository, and a UI to access it. You raise code reviews, and you need to do code reviews. And pretty much how it would look like is, I just want to give an example. So this is some simple application that we did long back ago, and if you see there's a lot of code written like this, and you have a history of code that's being written, and you can just directly go ahead and start giving comments if you want to. For example, I can do like, I can understand what is something I've written so long ago, and I can give comments like this shouldn't be this way, or you could do something like that. And it's pretty much how we do on an everyday basis. You write code, it goes for a review, and then it goes again for another review, like a couple of people look into it, and once the both of them have given a confirmation, that means that code is ready to be merged into a repository. And you have something similar to this. I'm not saying exactly this, but something similar to this, where this code is going to be looked at, there's going to be review comments given, and pretty much how any company would do it. So second important tool is to look and have a mechanism or a tool or even application to start and understand how the code flow goes into picture. I use it second most important thing in my kitty. Every day I have to look into code, there is no other way, and this is something like very important for me, and keeps me up to date as well. What is it, something that the other person is working on, and it's very important in a developer's back. Awesome. A couple of things done. The third important thing is obviously to write code. And where do you write code is very important. Do you use a simple text editor? Do you use a complex text editor? Or do you use IDEs that make your life so much easier? And the third more important thing that I do on everyday basis is to depend on PyCharm. So if you look into my programming, or if you look into my set of things, I've always talked about why PyCharm is the best programming IDE, especially because I've been using Python for so long. It's very important that I understand how the IDE works, a lot of different shortcuts that I use there, and I'm extremely grateful to how useful it is in doing a lot of important things in just a matter of seconds. Starting from your linter, it does even code corrections by itself, code completion, and a lot of shortcuts that is making your life so much easier. And it's pretty much my third important tool. If I start writing code on a specific day, I left and right use the PyCharm to its maximum, and that's also very important because you have to understand your IDE. Understanding IDE is very important. So that's the third most important developer tool that I use on an everyday basis. Alright, the fourth one that I wanted to discuss was something related to the concept of continuous integration, continuous development. So the idea behind these concepts are that you develop continuously. There is no stop, or there is no gap between what you do and what the user sees. So if you take, for example, a Google like website, where it has to be almost on all the time. There is no way that it can be stopped for say even a millisecond. If you do that, it means that you are losing probably people in millions who are going to be using your website, and that would be a very huge loss for your company. So what usually these big companies do is that they have some concept called as continuous integration or continuous deployment or development, however you want to call it. So the concept behind is that whatever you write, the code that you write is finally going to be moving into production after a lot of different checkpoints, and by the time it moves to the production, the code should not stop whatever is running on the actual website. The simple example would be a website. Google is the best example. If you have an application, there shouldn't be a time where the app would keep on crashing for say even a second. That should not happen. So what you do is that you release multiple versions of your code in a form of continuous integration, or you continuously keep on integrating your code to the production system. There are a lot of tools that are out there to do this in a everyday basis. There could be a cycle where your code is going to be merged into production every Monday, or it could be merged into production every 2 weeks. A lot of different cycles that different teams follow. But the important tool that you would be making use of is something called as the CI/CD tool, and one that I found out on an open source, this tool called as Concourse. The Concourse is a very important tool. I actually have heard about this, and it's been very useful for a lot of people. And there is another one called as Travis CI. I've used that as well. It's a really good tool. And these couple of these all integration tools, what they do is they continuously check your code. They could be writing a test on it. They could be just deploying it even to the production. And that's what these tools actually do for you. You still need to understand what they do and how they work, and you will not be using it on almost everyday basis because there is not going to be continuous integration on everyday basis, but you still would be requiring it on maybe twice a month or maybe 4 times a month. That is primarily because you need to understand how they work, and that actually make your life so much easier. And that's what my fourth important tool I had in my backpack. Alright, next up is the most important thing I would say pretty much is to communicate. You cannot do anything without communicating with others in your team. It's called a team for some reason. You have to have some kind of communication continuously with your teammates, or it could be even your stakeholders, your clients. You gotta have continuous communication. And I actually use the most important tool for this, which is Slack. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know about it. I cannot show you guys the internal tools or internal workings of how my team works, and I'm not supposed to show that as well. So this is the application that I use. It's very important that I keep myself updated with a lot of different things. I have to communicate with people, and this is going to be making my life so much easier. You can even send code, you can send code snippets, you can send to-do list, you can send your calendar invite. All of these are very important for you to be keeping yourself on the productivity. You have to be high on a productivity level. You cannot waste your time calling them or texting them about what you want to do. You should be having some kind of communication channel with your teammates, or even if your client has some kind of communication, it should be continuous. That isn't like, I do this today, I'll talk to you only next month same time. That's not how development works. So that's pretty much my 5 important tools that I had to show you guys, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have been using some of these, but you might have heard about new ones as well. Definitely drop that in the comment section if you have any other things that you do in your team, and I'll be very much interested to take a look into that. Alright guys, so that's it for the 5 important tools that I wanted to discuss. There are a couple of more ones that I wanted to share with you guys as well. These might not be very important for you in terms of a development as a team perspective, but this is very important as an individual perspective. The first one is the Note app, which comes with Mac OS. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of different Note apps for different OSs as well. You can have a lot of cool new Notes app as well. Stickies are one example of that. And what Note app does is that it keeps your list of things that you want to do on track. Yes, you have your sprint board. Yes, that's true. But what about things that you want to do even granular, like have a certain idea of how to solve this problem? I'd quickly take notes and maybe have notes to discuss about it with my teammates later. All of that's going to be making it super easier. Also, one important thing that you will be doing as part of your development cycle is write lot of documentations. And writing documentation would not come easily unless you practice them on almost, I would say, every time you get a chance to write, you got to keep writing. And Note app does that for you. You can practice your writing, you can keep your thoughts, put it in one place, and it helps me be productive. Insanely productive. I cannot live without my Note app at all. So pretty much that's what I wanted to share. I hope I did make some sense. By 5-6 apps that I do use on an almost every single day basis, making my life so much easier. Developing is up through the chart if you want to ask me about it. So that's it for this video. Hope this video is informative. I know a lot of you guys had been asking me about this. Pretty much what I wanted to share as part of this video. Let me meet you in the next one with something really important as well as cool. Until then, Bharat, peace out. Have a super awesome day.